So before we get started, I just want to say there's a correction for last week's episode, and my recommendation is a full recommendation for the Decagon. Everything is fine. Do not approach the Statue of Liberty and look behind its eyes. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Oh, hello, and welcome to Aldente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey. D stands for evil.
And I'm the gamer in yellow.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta, and be critically silly doing it. And tonight we have All-Consuming Darkness. That is way too thematic today.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah. So for anybody confused, prior to us recording, like we were going to start recording today,
At our normal time.
but the power went out and was proceeded to be out for much like over our usual like schedule time, and so like we were thinking we had to like postpone or reschedule, and luckily it came back like an hour or two later. But like, yeah, we were, I think, like at least me and Gamer were both in darkness.
Yeah, me even more so because last night when I was reading this,
Oh no.
I basically just finished, saved my notes. I'm like, okay, well, that's done. The power goes out. It's pitch black everywhere, and I have like a glass of water on my table. I do not have my phone in my pocket. I'm like, shit. I have to not knock over this glass, and I have to find a light.
That is awesome and horrible at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing. I was starting Baldur's Gate 3 last night, like when the power went out. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to bed. And then I went to bed. Also, Gamer, because you're in the same neighborhood as I am. Did you see
Yes.
a double hit of bright flash?
Green.
Oh, it was blue over here.
It was green.
Okay, that's terrifying because like I was like I was going to bed, I was sleeping, and all suddenly there was just this like through my window, like just these like bursts of blue light like surged through like lightning, and I was like, huh, that's weird, because that's either like some kind of transformer, I guess, just blue or something like off on the road. But how is that coming through my window? Since my window is like a half window and is like kind of protected from the street by a house and a fence and a car. That must be really bright.
It came from the sky, from the aliens coming by and taking a snapshot of the area while the power was out.
Yeah. Yeah. Or no, it was miasma showed up.
Yeah, that's what that was. It wasn't red though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, yours was green, mine was blue, so it might change colors.
Maybe it wasn't miasma. It could have been like your asthma.
God damn it!
Instead of miasma.
Miasma. God damn it! All right, well,
asthma, asthma, his asthma.
That's as good a segue as not for our story today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're covering All-Consuming Darkness tonight. It's by SerenaWrites on creepypasta.wiki. They actually gave us this story in an email, and we're like, hey, like I'd love for you to like to cover some of my stories. Be as brutally honest as you feel you want to be.
Oh right, that's this one. I should change my notes.
Yeah, I was like, wow, like, okay. I mean, like, we'll do it the way we do all the stories that we cover on the show.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's always boggles my mind when we get emails from authors.
Mm-hmm. We are a credible source,
apparently,
for like review and you know, good words usage.
I wouldn't go that
English
far. I really wouldn't go that far, but
I would.
it's appreciated nonetheless.
Yeah.
The emails we get from authors.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's why we're doing All Consuming Darkness tonight. So I suppose we'll start off with our initial recommendations. I'm going to partially recommend it, but like it's teetering on almost a full recommendation for me.
I'm also going to personally recommend it.
Fuck, man. I'm gonna partially recommend it, but it's teetering on the not recommendation side of
Oh,
things.
interesting. Okay.
How are we
I used
running
to-
the gambit on specifically partial recommendation this time?
Specifically partial recommendation. It's
Yeah.
that's like tell my wife hello. Definitely, maybe.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dive into the story and find out why we gave those very specific partial recommendations. Starting with the rundown, featuring Victor or Vic, who is going to be our narrator for the story. He and a group of friends, Donnie, Paul, Ray, and Lou, are hanging out when Paul and Ray are getting into an intense argument while drunk. In fact, the story basically opens up with the argument. Something about like alcohol, or alcohol poisoning doesn't kill you, according to Ray. Lou comes in to the room and tells everyone to get out of his house for being super rowdy and loud, like his neighbors are going to complain and such, except for Vic. However, when the crew goes to leave, they find that the outside is missing, like replaced with an endless darkness enshrouding the house. After doing some tests, the gang quickly loses their shit, unable to contact anyone outside the house. Ray, the drunkest of the bunch, gets very antagonistic, hurting Paul and having to be subdued and locked in the garage by the others. Vic goes up to Lou's room and gets his gun, and Lou comes in and shares a brief intimate moment, as both are very scared about the situation, before going downstairs. Vic fires off a shot into the darkness. He attacked the darkness.
It was a magic missile, though.
I mean, what is magic missile but just a gun? Yeah. And at first nothing seems to be happening, or at first nothing happens with the gunshot until a gravelly groaning noise is heard and some rumbling. Ray is in the garage and causing a mess, drinking any and all alcohol in the garage fridge and shouting profanities, wanting to be free. Paul isn't doing great and needs a hospital. Vic notices there actually is a strange light off in the distance in the darkness outside, but then Ray escapes the garage and attacks. Donnie fires the gun but misses and gets taken down and made into a bloody heap under Ray's fists. Vic grapples Ray and, after professing his love to Lou, throws himself and Ray into the dark void beyond the door. Ray is consumed by the entity of the darkness, who calls itself miasma, and then claims it devours people in the wrong place and time. It decides not to eat Vic, however, and Vic comes to back in Lou's house, but his friends are all gone, seemingly taken by miasma. In a bittersweet ending, to quote Vic's last words in the story, his body came back, but his heart was taken. Finn. So that was All-Consuming Darkness. I suppose we'll move on to Everyone Tolerates the Grand Inquisitions at this point. And I've got a couple. Gonna start with this one here. I stared at the TV, watching as it refused to turn on. So first, this is partially like an actual thought, but also like this is, I think, a grammar thing. So the TV won't turn on, but I assume like there's still power for lights and such in the house, right? Because it's not mentioned otherwise that the power took off all the lights and such. So
Yeah.
is it that the TV won't turn on, or that it just doesn't have signal like the phones and such? I feel like maybe there should be like an ad, like I stared at the TV watching as it refused to get a signal or something like that.
You're absolutely right.
Or either that, or add something about like the no lights being on in the house at all. Like the electricity has been cut as well.
But that's the problem. They didn't know anything was wrong until they opened the door.
That's true. Yeah,
they could have been in there for ages. So unless they were having a candlelit drunken party with the lights,
I mean, who
off,
hasn't had one of those? I mean, really.
I know, right? But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, fire and alcohol always make a great combination.
This is true.
But yeah, so that's my suggestion for that one, is just like the I think the TV should be like the signal is they're not able to see the signal, not that you can't turn on the TV itself. But my next one here, I ran to Paul, who was trembling. Paul, buddy, oh my God, I want to get warm. I helped him onto the couch and put a warm blanket on him. He fell asleep, still trembling. I feel like trembling should be replaced with shivering, because I don't like. It's clear that like it seems like Paul is feeling cold and shivering, not like trembling for me. Like doesn't right off the hop like kind of invoke like that somebody is cold. It just means that they're like spasming or something like that. It's not like necessarily like a. For me, it's not a good indicator for like somebody being cold and like in that kind of state.
Yeah, I feel like trembling is best used, at least in my head, for like being scared.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same
and
the same thing. Your body is shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he could very well be trembling of fear because he was punched in the gut by Ray.
And he feels like he's dying.
Yeah.
But he's also cold. So he's trembling and shivering.
So it should either be shivering or include shivering with trembling.
Or trembling.
What?
Just combine them.
Fair, yeah. All right, I'll move on to the next one I have. I ran under the sink. Oh yeah, it does say that. Okay, yeah, it does actually say that. Hang on, yeah, that's my problem with it. Yeah. I ran under the sink and grabbed a tiny box. Period. 6 bullets. Period. 1 man.
How small
alone
is it?
On the edge of space. A girl. No, 2 girls. Now more than ever. Sorry. I did alter the sentence to work. I think the way, or just like in the way I think it should work, or like the way I think I would have written it. I ran to the sink in the kitchen and reached under, grabbing a tiny box. Period. 6 bullets, comma, 1 man.
Yeah, because I don't think Vic would be able to run under the sink.
Yeah, just like
unless Vic is very small.
Very small, so small.
So
but also just like what's when you're like running and then you just like hit the B button to like crouch down and you do like a slide.
Yeah.
right. But no, I think it's like there should be a few more words in there to kind of like properly clarify that they ran to the sink in the kitchen and reached under to grab something. Not they went under the.
You don't even
they
have
ran
to specify
under
the kitchen. There's not too many sinks in a house.
There's a bathroom. It could have been. He could have left it in underneath a bathroom sink.
Well, regardless, it doesn't change it. Whether it's under the bathroom sink or the kitchen sink, it doesn't matter.
Fair. Just the whole ran under the sink is kind of odd.
100%.
Yeah, I'll move on to the next one I have. I really don't want to do this. Welcome to my tense talk. The entire story up this point was past tense, and then we get this present tense bit. I really didn't want to go. I really didn't want to do this, I think is how it should be. And then I think this happens again with my next quote and comment. His intoxicated state has left the window on the door unscathed. I think, okay, so this is a double thing, because first off, it's a tense talk, because I feel like it should be his intoxicated state hadn't, or at first I was like, had left the window of the door unscathed, but that was like, wait, shouldn't it be his intoxicated state hadn't left the window on the door unscathed? Sort of like, because he had been like in a mess, like in causing a mess in the garage. Like why, like he does break eventually he does eventually break the window of the door. So should it be left scathed?
It should be scathed.
Yes, but like a lot of people like to do that thing where it's like, it wasn't left unscathed from the battle, like that double negative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that one.
Okay, cool. I guess if you want to go with scathed, like, his intoxicated state had left the window on the door scathed.
Well, no, the problem is it says it left the window unscathed.
Yeah.
So it should say not unscathed.
Yeah, unless it is trying to say that because of his intoxicated state, he wasn't able to really do anything to the window, so it was actually left unscathed.
Yeah, but they're like panicking and like aiming the gun at him, telling him to stop.
And he does eventually break through that glass, so it was marring the glass. So,
Yeah.
or like at least, well, yeah. So yeah. I think it is the former rather than the latter. But I digress. That's actually my last grammar inquisition. So, Mikey, the E stands for evil.
All right. My grammar acquisition is also a bit of an actual thought, but it's the voice of the Mazema is always in all caps.
Yeah.
Yet we have other characters yelling in all caps.
Yeah, to show that they're shouting and such. Yeah.
So that makes it not clear who's talking.
I suppose. I guess there could be some more description around Miasma's dialogue of like his voice was like a terrible like it was like all encompassing, or like show like kind of give this like describe the size of the set or the loudness of his voice and such.
Or you know what? Put it in italics.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
Gamer, are you okay?
I'm fine here now. How are you?
So, anyway,
I am still gamer in yellow. I did not take the gamer in yellow last night during the alien abduction. What are you talking about? That's why the power went out in the green light.
Make a call here to the SNTF.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. Please continue. Humans. I mean, friends.
all right. So the whole thing to me became confusing because at one point Mazema said I lied, and I had to go back through multiple full caps sentences to find what they lied about. But the first one that I came to was I love you. So Mazema was lying about loving him.
No,
but
he was lying about not like
lying about the void takes all in time. That was the lie.
Yeah.
But it's not clear because of all the other yelling that is also in the same text style as Mazema.
Okay, fair. Also, Mazema?
But it's miasma, by the way.
Yeah, it's miasma.
Miasma? That's
miasma. No, miasma.
Regardless, all of this can be fixed with something that I found as a problem with the grammar. And like it's basically just most of the dialogue does not have the speaker tied to it.
Yeah.
So you have to really think about who's talking and really pay attention. Granted, it is technically done right because it goes back and forth between two people until someone else shows up.
And then
it says it.
Yeah.
But it goes on for long periods of time with just two people talking, and one person chimes in, but then another person chimes in, and you're not 100% always sure who was talking at that point.
Yeah, so it could be a little, it could be refined a little bit with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my big grammar inquisition.
Yeah. Plus, it would give more reasons to put in mentions of like descriptors of the characters because we know basically nothing about these characters.
That is legitimately like I think my first actual thought is like or is something regarding like the fact that like we have I want to know more about these characters before they die or before the situation happens.
All we have is Ray's big, Lou has beard.
Yeah.
And Vic is small enough to run underneath the sink. That's about it.
Yeah.
Ray is a goblin.
Yeah. No, not Ray. Vic.
Sorry, Vic is a goblin. Yes.
Yeah. Or a gnome, or a halfling.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going down the whole line of like D&D D&D races.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even a fae.
Oh, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so next I have a It story.
All right.
Hell yeah.
And now an It story with Mikey. The E stands for evil. Take it away.
It'd be annoying if it wasn't so entertaining. It was pitch black, with no signs of anything out there. It looked as if someone put a sheet over the doorway. It was as if the darkness had killed all ambient noise. It's not in your drawer. It was a shiny revolver, never used. It was then that we heard the groan. It hurts. It's okay. It sounded like both a man and a woman speaking at the same time. It had no features aside from 2 black eyes and a mouth with no teeth. It pierced through the void. It's not their fault. It's never their fault. It was nice. It smelled of Lou. It was cold out, just sprinkling lightly. Just lightly sprinkling. Yeah. Finn.
Wow. So it seemed like it's like it would be hilarious if it wasn't so irritating. Or it would be irritating if it wasn't so hilarious at the beginning there. And then it's like it's the darkness, and then the darkness like it was like that was covered for a bit, and then it transformed into a gun, and then it became a face that spoke. And then
it's nice smell. It smelled.
Yeah,
Lou.
Yeah. Then
but Lou wasn't mentioned before, so the only thing I could think of as a Lou is a toilet.
Yeah. And then it was because it was also lightly sprinkling outside. So like, Wow. Yeah.
Crazy how weird a story can go when you grab a bunch of sentences throughout the story that start with words that they probably shouldn't, like it's, ands, or buts. There's always better words to use.
Indeed. Gamer, do we have a grammar in yellow?
A little bit. Paul threw his hands up. What do you mean it's not a choice, you fucking alcoholic? I mean it's not a choice. Or sorry, he yelled at you or whatever. Suddenly we heard a loud smack. Everyone looked in the direction of the sound and saw Lou with his fist curled up and resting against the table. So for me, when I heard smack, I assumed someone got bitch slapped.
Yeah.
Or at least punched.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like maybe thud would be better.
Yeah. Also, he had a fist on the table, right? So he punched the table. That doesn't necessarily create a slapping, like a slapping sound. It creates like a thud sound, like you're saying. Yeah. So
yeah, that's why I said thud.
Yeah. No, I'm just furthering, like extrapolating off of that.
Yes. And then what else? Oh yeah. So they open the door. They do not get on the floor and walk the dinosaur. However, it's all like darkness out there imprisoning them. All they can see, absolute horror. But he gets the beer and pours it out, and it says it's splashed out of the can into the inky blackness, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer like it ran out of the can or dripped out of the can, because splashed makes it sound like it hit something. Meanwhile,
or poured out the can.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I think it would be poured would also work for that.
Well, you don't want to say, I opened the can and began to pour it out the door. It poured out.
Oh yeah, I guess, or like maybe it's sloshed out or so. Yeah, like you said, like,
Slosh sounds very viscous. That's why I
no,
say
like,
they ran
slosh,
out
yeah,
or dripped out.
that's fair. Okay, fine, fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because splash makes it sound like it hit something. Because that's what I
Yeah.
immediately heard. Like that's what I immediately visualized. Rather, poured it out. It hit the inky blackness where there would be a front step, but then it continued saying that it kept falling until they didn't see it. So I was very confused when I first read that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's it for the grammar.
Okay. Mikey, did you have something there? You sound like you were gonna.
No. No,
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right. Then I suppose we'll move on to actual thoughts. So I'm going to start with this quote here. Look, I'm telling you, you're wrong. Then what is it, genius? You can't die of alcohol poisoning, dipshit. What the hell are you talking about? You're just mad because you know I'm right. This happens every time we hang out. Paul and Ray get too drunk and argue over dumb stuff. It'd be annoying if it wasn't so entertaining. So I'm guessing Ray is the one that's defending the stance that you can't die from alcohol poisoning. Which
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure you can die of alcohol poisoning.
Mhm.
He's also
Hence
drunk
it
and he
being
wants a
poison.
reason to drink more.
Yeah. Based on how he, yeah, and like my assumption that he's the one that defending alcohol poisoning not being lethal, is the fact that he's acting like the way he acts through the rest of the story. It gets kind of like it seems like he'd be that kind of guy, in the story, and that actually segues to the topic of note for this that came from Ray's behavior throughout the story. I feel like there could have been a bit more to describe the characters and their roles in the friend group right off the hop. Like we could have had a little bit more. I really wish we had had more at the start to describe this group of friends and like where they all are. Like we know Ray is the that guy drunk. But like, and we get we do get little bits here and there throughout the writing of like characters' physical descriptions or like their personalities a little bit or like their personality traits. But you really don't like. I just wish I wish we had more like to flesh them out. Like before you throw some characters into the proverbial meat grinder of a horror story, you want to get at least like some tidbits of detail and like likability or like familiarization with the characters before you make them into victims and villains in the story.
Yeah.
So.
And also talking about Ray's drinking habits, when they put him in the garage and he starts pulling out bottles of hard liquor from the fridge.
Yeah.
I assumed that he was drinking like full bottles of hard liquor.
Yeah, he would have started barfing really quick.
Later, when we heard the glass shatter, it's because he threw a bottle against the door, but there's no mention of hard liquor going anywhere. It's just the glass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says somewhere that like he's drinking them and throwing them out when he's done with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
throwing them out the door.
Which that guy must have like an iron stomach because even if like I from unfortunate experiences during what we like to call shots giving in our household, there have been a couple of cases where where people over imbibe on the hard liquor and such and are immediately throwing up in a bathroom somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know that he isn't throwing up to make room for more.
That's true.
Yeah, it says Ray was still drinking whole bottles and throwing them at the door.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got a drinking problem.
Yeah, clearly,
and he's trying to prove that he can't be poisoned.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah. But yeah, that's my thing. Like, kind of what we were going, what Gamer was talking about earlier. It's like, yeah, I kind of just wanted to know more about these characters before we toss them into the horror scenario. Like, because you want that, like, at least that, like in a movie, you want that 30 minutes at the beginning of the movie to get to know the group of teenagers before Jason murders them. So you feel something when they die. whether it be like catharsis that that a jerk gets killed, or sad or sympathy when like when the funny man or like the sympathetic girl dies, or like triumph when the final girl survives in the movie, or even like sadness for her because all of her friends are dead but she made it out, like, and she's got to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta humanize the characters like a little bit more before you just toss them in. I mean, we get some of it through the writing here, but I wished for more at the beginning.
That being said, the only ones that really truly got killed were Ray actually.
Yeah, Ray.
He was the only one that straight up you see get killed, and we have a good enough reason to be okay with him being killed because he was a dick.
Yeah. But then, like, also, like, maybe give us an explanation as to why he's still in their group of friends. If he's an angry drunk.
Everyone has that guy.
Okay, yes, but like, give us more of that in the story. Like, give us a little bit more to like play on that. Like, it's like he's really a nice guy once you get to know him, and like he's
not necessarily.
He may be an angry drunk, but he's never hurt us. Like maybe the reason he acted out so badly or was so antagonistic in this was, well, first off, like they spent like it seemed like there were a few hours into their panic as well in the story. But like maybe I honestly was kind of wondering if like he was getting possessed by something in the darkness, and like that's why he was acting like that. But then it seemed like he's just that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I didn't have enough information about these characters or get to know these characters a little bit more before they all basically meet their end. So,
but the other guys are still hanging out in the house.
Well, I mean, are they though? Like, or have they all been like taken by miasma? Like, is Vic the only one? Like, because it seems pretty obvious at the end. Like Vic's looking around the house looking for his friends and finding like a blood spot and like the even clothes of these people, and they're just gone. So I think
for all we know, the rest of them are also doing the same thing in their own parallel.
Oh
universe.
God, that would be so. Oh, I don't know how you would illustrate that, but that would be such a cool thing at the end of the story. Is just like another paragraph of like showing Lou in one place as Donnie is like bloodied and dead on the floor in another universe. Like he's like looking, he's just dead already. Like and then similarly like Paul is just like freezes to death on the couch. Like it'd be so sad as like Vic is like driving away crying and like that his like friends have been taken, and it just cuts to like different realities where like they are all just alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's first person story, can't really do that.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'll move on to the next thing I have. Fine with me. Ray grabbed his keys and walked toward the door. Hey Ray, maybe you shouldn't drive. I said fine with me. He opened the door and paused. Raymond, get out, Lou said. Lou, where's the outside? Wow, that escalated really quick. Because like that's like I think I even like the first like we get like a page of their shenanigans, and then outside's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is definitely the kind of scenario I have had in my head while hanging out with the guys on Saturday night. Whether it be like a game, like where we're all like gaming or watching a horror movie or something like that. It's just like, man, what would happen if like this horror scenario in a game happened? Like it's definitely something I've kicked around in my head and like to throw it into like a game idea or like a story idea of just like you and your friends just hanging out like at the apartment or like playing games or whatever and then the horror scenario kind of just like happens while while you guys are at home, and like what do you guys do? Like that's the seed for the horror scenario. It's like, all right, you're all hanging out, insert horror scenario, like either it be like Hachishaku-sama shows up or like suddenly like you go to outside to on the patio to smoke, and you realize that the outside is missing. What do you do? Go. That's the scenario starter.
Mm-hmm. Also, in regards to the outside missing, I feel like they believed him way too quick.
Well, they all kind of didn't they all like kind of come up to the door and like check and stuff of that and confirm?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like they didn't immediately assume that the drunken idiot is just blacking out or something. Like no one went, yeah, I'm sure it's not there. Yeah.
Or yeah, I guess I
Like,
could.
he didn't
like,
have to try
yeah.
to convince anyone. They just immediately went, "What? It's not there."
Yeah. I guess it could have had like a line with like Lou's or Lou saying it's like, Paul, Ray's blacking out. Get ready to catch him.
Yeah.
And then like that's when we get like, no, guys, seriously, it's out. Like, and then like they all check. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, like none of them get up, and Ray's like, "No, I'm fucking telling you, it's not there." And he grabs one of them and drags them over to the door.
Yeah, for sure. I'll move on to the next thing I have. I handed the gun to Donnie. You hold on to this, I said. I don't know how to use this. Well, hopefully you won't have to. Why? This seems incredibly ill-advised, handing a gun off to someone who doesn't know how to use it, who has stated they don't know how to use it. Where the fuck's Lou in this situation?
He's right there.
Yeah, what? Hand it off to Lou.
Also, why did he have to hand it off in the first place?
Because he was going to go check on Paul.
What, he couldn't do that with the gun?
I think they wanted to have the gun near the garage door in case Ray tried something. And then we get the obvious like end to that scenario where Donnie fires like Ray gets loose, Donnie fires and misses all time. Yep. So I'm surprised someone else didn't get shot in the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty dumb they didn't give it to Lou.
Yeah, that was a real like, oh god, is this house in Derpland?
Of course it is. It is now.
Yeah, these guys are residents of Derpland. It was going. Vic was acting all right up until this point.
Yeah.
And then we get after Vic and Lou get like launched into the darkness and encounter Miasma. The light was back, but had evolved into a red pulsating glow. Hey! I yelled. I heard a response. Victor Rosenberg, a voice spoke. Winston. That's definitely the kind of like thing I got from this is that Ghostbusters 2 scene where like they're down the train tunnels and it is like, hi, hello, Winston.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, when you yelled "Hey," I thought you were gonna go, "Hey, listen!"
God damn it! Yeah, that's one too. And my next one's a similar like silly scene that kind of came to mind. Unfortunately for Ray, Miasma held him in stasis. Victor! I stared at Miasma. I lied.
Remember when I told you I wouldn't kill you guys? Yeah, you did. I lied. Drops him in pit.
Yes, thank you, Commando.
I mean, know what Miasma sounds like, Arnold.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So hang on. Let me better. I heard a response. Victor Rosenberg. Victor, I lied. Oh God damn it!
Somehow it does not carry the same amount of fear.
Yeah, exactly. So well, as you know, now we know the male voice in the voice.
Yes,
it's an Arnold voice.
Totally. God
damn it. But yeah, actually going to the quote I just referenced, like the whole like I lied part, and with unfortunately for Ray, Miasma held him in stasis. I feel like maybe I would have quoted, I would have altered it a little bit to be Miasma held him in a sort of stasis, because like it just being so definitive that like he held him in stasis is like,
yeah, I know exactly what spell he's using.
Exactly,
yeah,
he's using
level 4 spell.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. Like he's using the Grasp of Cthulhu from the D20 Cthulhu book.
Mm-hmm. He did really good on his Arcana check to find out what spell it is.
Yeah, he rolled it. Yeah, he rolled a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Also, regarding the whole like I lied part and stuff with that, I suppose in this case in the case of the story, it's reversed. When like whenever I was joking about like, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. Because he said he was going to kill everybody, but then he didn't kill Victor. So
yes,
I suppose, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll move on to my next quote and comments. I walked throughout the house. Nobody was there. I looked in the garage. There were still bottles of hard liquor and broken glass strewn about, but no Ray. I looked back in the living room. The blanket was on the couch, but Paul wasn't. On the floor, a puddle of blood was on the ground, making an outline of where Donnie should be. I checked Lou's room. His gun was still under the bed. Lou. This could be so kind of expanding on what we said earlier about like how gamers said like they were all in different realities. This could also be a really interesting like take or explanation for like a rapture situation, like where it's like a localized rapture event. Where like people just like vanish, like or just cease to exist from reality because miasma takes them and pulls them out of reality. And like we'd have like a like in a scenario like you go to like a place where like there's like a missing persons and like for like a game fodder, I suppose, where you're playing as like the cops like investigating a missing persons thing or like some kind of a noise complaint or something like that. And you go to this house and there's like clearly there was like a bar, like a party or something like going on, but like there's nobody there except for one person, and their claim is so ridiculous, or it's just outlandish. Like they all just like it basically tells the story of what happened in this. But then that's also for a game idea, like that would be the catalyst for like suddenly the cops now have been primed for being taken, and so like they go home or they go to back to the precinct. And then suddenly the precinct exists, like it ceases to exist for a bit outside of space time, and people are slowly getting taken from that. I think that would be an interesting thing to derive a game idea from this from the plot of this story.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last quote and comment for the story is: I drove away from the house and began to cry. Miasma was right. My body may be home, but my heart remained trapped in miasma. Good old tragic horror ending. I honestly really like the last line here. It's kind of poetic, at least in terms of the structure of it. I don't think Victor deserved, like, I don't think it's poetic in like how like that Victor deserved to any of this.
No.
But like it is sort of, it's very like structurally it's very poetic. Like my body it may be home, but my heart remains trapped in miasma, because like all his friends and even like his love interest were taken by miasma, but he was left back on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very like tradition, like very not traditional, but like very it's that tragic, bittersweet survivor ending of a horror story where like you survived, but all your friends are gone. Like they ultimately made the sacrifice, whether willingly or not. But yeah, that's all I've got for my actual thoughts. So, Mikey, these stands for evil.
So I'm gonna start with the title: All-consuming darkness. Yet it failed to consume Victor.
Because it lied at the beginning.
Also, it's
at the very beginning title.
Yeah, remember the title, All-Consuming Darkness? I lied.
I don't think it means it in the way you think it means.
No, I think it's just supposed to describe the darkness outside of the house.
Yeah.
Although, and you know, another good title I think would be funny is like "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend."
Wow.
Okay.
That's for the sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Vic's got to get Lou back. We got to have that like that sequel that is, I mean, based on slasher movies and stuff, is probably not going to be as good as the first one, but joking aside, I wish he wouldn't mind a sequel where Vic is trying to get Lou back, or and maybe some of his other friends,
Maybe,
but like specifically Lou. So.
Anyway, next actual thought. I have a quote here. I showed the gun to the guys. Boom. So, my mind went to Gears of War, where the enemy, in a deep voice, yeah,
Right.
Explosive rounds in that.
Yeah. See, I honestly thought the story was gonna get really dark really fast because like prior to this, they'd gotten like about an hour or more of like just freaking out and like not being honest. Like, and then Vic goes to get the gun. It's like, is Vic just gonna start shooting everybody? Like, it's like, well, we're done. We're screwed anyway. Bang, bang. I was like, oh god, is that where this is going? And then no, he shoots into the darkness. I was like, oh, thank God.
It's kind of a shame we don't have a good feel for how long they were stuck in there. Because like, because it's a quick read and there's no mention or no clear mention, anyways, of time passing. It feels like they were stuck there for like an hour. Like max.
That is something that could probably be like again like added onto the story. Is give us a few more lines of just like hour one, like we were like freaking out. Hour two, hour question mark, and then like just like have a couple of those where it's like showing like the passage of time in like a few sentences to kind of give us a little bit more sense of like their desperation.
Yeah, because this sort of situation is like prime fodder to have like the whole survivalist kind of story going on of them trying to figure out how to survive with what's left and how to get out and all that. But it's just kind of really rushed by.
Yeah, like if this was a film production, this is definitely one of those horror movies that's like a small budget because they're only shooting. Honestly, this is Skinamarink. Actually, now that I think about it, because it's just the entire movie takes place inside of a house, and the outside world effectively does not exist. Whether it be like an all-encroaching darkness or all the windows and doors are missing, as to the outside, as is the case with Skinamarink, and the characters are just trying to like figure out what's going on while also dealing with something that is slowly encroaching upon them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's very much like that kind of a movie like idea. If you're to like transition this to a film media, it would be like one of those like kind of small indie horror films.
I mean, when you think about it, most films are actually just here's the room and around it is just all-consuming darkness because everything that's not the set doesn't exist in the world.
Wow, that's really deep, actually. what is life in a film in a film, but just disparate set pieces,
just floating in empty space.
Oh my god, that's also kind of the meta plot of Too Many Cooks. Like,
yeah, I guess it is
because the killer begins slowly like attacking them, and the one character, the survivors, like flee to other sets in the studio.
Yeah,
and effectively flee into other movies or TV shows. Yeah.
So my next actual thought is that miasma is the good guy.
Explain.
So Ray is we determine he's evil.
I mean, he's a jerk.
He's an angry drunk, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes, very angry and physical, angry drinking jerk.
Yeah,
violent.
He's a violent, angry drunk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Paul is evil for joining in with the rage drinking.
Okay.
Donnie is evil for supporting the rage drinking by being the designated driver and for shooting the gun even though he missed.
So what's Lou's sin?
Lou is evil for having the gun in the first place.
I mean, that's just American, probably. But
and Victor is the good guy because he's the one who talked to miasma. The others didn't even try.
See, I would go so much to say that Victor is not evil or is the good guy here because he selflessly protected the rest of them by leaping through the door with Ray. Like he got rid of he sacrificed himself for the group.
The greater good.
Yeah, but also like the miasma is targeting evil and knows that Victor's the good guy.
Yeah.
And so that's why Victor lives at the end.
I guess. I mean, to be fair, Victor is also the one who knew where the gun was in Lou's room, got it, and shot into miasma.
Well, but he didn't know where the gun was because he has to ask for it because Lou kept changing where it was.
Okay. I
Because
suppose.
it's not Victor's gun, so it's Lou's gun.
Yeah. So you're saying because, like, oh, well, it's not his gun, and also because he gave it to Donnie, like, his hands are clean.
Yep.
But he also incriminated Donnie. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, giving a man a
You-
gun and having a man shoot that gun, you are just as liable as he is.
Yes. As giving it to a person who does not know how to use the gun properly.
After he straight up says, "I don't know how to use this," he's like,
And
"This
then
is fine."
Yeah, like, and then Vic just goes like, well, like, hopefully you won't have to use it. It's like, no, that is not the response. You take
Yeah.
that gun back.
It's
Again,
fine.
where's
Miasma
Lou?
could
That's new.
detect that that there was plot armor on him, so that's why he was allowed to survive.
I honestly think it was just because of how selfless he was with, like, sacrificing
Mhm.
himself for Lou in the group. So
Yeah, and that's the end of my actual thoughts.
okay, gamer.
Let's see what I have left. So the story starts off with two drunk dudes. And so as soon as I'm reading that, I'm like, great. So right after that,
Into
all
your
of
res.
whatever follows could be just whatever happens in their drunken stupor.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But after reading more, there's a couple of people there that are sober, so never mind. But that is the vibe I went in with, because it's just immediately drunk people talking. So
Yeah.
Then moving on. So upon shooting the gun into the darkness, Ray and Paul yell at each other, questioning what the groan noise was. Ray punches Paul, which spurs Lou, Donnie, and Vic to all tackle and choke him out. To me, that seems a bit excessive, just for like him throwing one punch. Like, yeah, he's an angry drunk, but he wasn't attacking all of them. It's not like he was like, "I'm gonna beat the fuck out of all of you now." Like, he didn't do that.
He wasn't like he wasn't Jet Li from the one. You are all my bitches.
Yeah. Like, he could have just needed to do that one punch, and that would be most of his anger gone, because he was the one that was pissing him off the whole time. And then later on, Ray wakes up and is being an angry drunk in the garage. So they all decide the only sensible thing is to threaten to kill him with a gun.
Yeah.
Fuck, guys.
I mean, again, like, at this point, like, some time has passed. They're all in a panicked and, like, desperate state. So, like, this is the time when, like, it either makes or breaks people. So, like, maybe they're just not thinking straight because of the desperate situation. But
there hasn't been that much time. No mention of them sleeping has happened.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like an hour of like them like panicking and stuff like that has gone by at least.
Well, okay, but we're not at the level of pulling a gun out on a guy just because he's angry. At least it didn't feel like it. These jumps in, it felt like it kept escalating quickly. For like no reason, honestly.
Yeah. Like we said earlier, I think there should be some points in the story where, like, we get like a small break or some sentences that say, like, show like that time is passing, so that it doesn't see, because I will agree, like, it does feel like this thing is escalating just like quick.
Yeah, it felt like they were jumping the gun. Yeah.
Get out. It's like, get out, gamer. You're drunk. You're just like, guys, where's the outside?
Where'd the outside go? Where'd the offline world go?
Oh no.
I'm just stuck sitting on my chair. But yeah. And then soon after he shoots the gun into the darkness, they check to see if there's any more ammo in the gun. The cylinder's empty after only one shot, so they're like, shit, we need to find ammo. So that means that Lou keeps a revolver loaded with only one bullet under his bed? That's dark.
So fucking creepy now that you point that out.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's fucking dark.
That's oh shit.
And it's not mentioned. No one catches. I mean, you guys didn't catch on, but none of the characters catch on to it.
Oh god.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I need to extrapolate further on what that means, but
yeah.
Muy no bueno.
Yeah, like, oof.
Indeed, oof. Like it's
And
one
then,
thing
like,
if you
it's
got
like
the
also
gun
like,
and then like only there was one bullet sitting in there. Even if the gun was there under the
And there's
bed and there
one
was like a
bullet.
bullet sitting on the ground next to the gun, that's still iffy, and you had to like load it and all that.
Also,
It's still
he
iffy.
moves the gun around.
What?
He changes the location of the gun on a
Yeah,
regular basis.
because he doesn't want people to find his, gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
kind of fucking dark.
Yeah, that got way darker than I thought it was going to go. Like,
That
and
part.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like because when I first read it, I was thinking more of like, oh god, is like Vic just gonna start shooting everybody? Because like it's like, well, we're fucked. Bang, bang, like basically do the ending of the Mist, where like everyone gets killed because like there's no point in like they've lost all hope. But no, that's even hard. That's another darkness right there. What you're proposing.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's some shit right there.
So dark. You sure you're not part of the DC universe?
Maybe I am. Yeah, that's part of the problem with the story for me is like I found that revelation way creepier than everything else in the story.
Yeah, that connotation is like, oh man, like that's the thing. That's the thing between with like real horror and like supernatural horror. Like supernatural horror has the safety blanket of like it's not real. It's like this is like the darkness consuming this house and these people like getting picked off by or like getting taken by this entity. It's creepy. It's creepy and horrific, but at the end of the day, it is still fictional. So that's the safety blanket of it. When you throw in that implication of a real world horror thing, I was like, why does Lou only have one bullet in his gun that he stores under his bed? Like that, I don't know if SerenaWrites like meant for that to be in there or if that's like a weird like creepy like just like a little bit of world building or like world building like Easter egg suggestion kind of thing. Like yeah, character not development, but character like detail that like if you know kind of creepy thing.
Yeah,
But,
because
yeah,
also
yeah.
when you think about it too, like him and Vic are in the closet.
Yeah.
So him being in the closet for a long time might be part of the reason why he's considering that.
Is something from what I understand is something all too common.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, very unfortunately. Yeah, no, that's wow, that is
so dark.
So dark. I put the words right out my mouth.
Yeah.
like and again, like it just kind of was like that overshadows the horror of the supernatural in the story.
Yeah, it's more all-consuming than the darkness.
Yeah, like Miasma, Miasma saw Lou is like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah. But I'll move on.
Or sorry, actually, there's a quick thing.
Okay, I won't move on. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, it's like alternatively, like for the story, like you could also develop the story as like maybe that's why Miasma's here is because he's a manifestation of that desperation, that isolation, that depression. Like he's a manifestation of negative emotions that is all consuming darkness around that house. Like that, because it seems like this group of friends, there's definitely some toxicity in the group this group. Yeah, like between like the violent, angry drunk and the two closeted characters, or maybe not closeted because like there is definitely like there's some like
they said not. He was basically saying not in front of the guys.
Yeah, that's what kind of got me was like, is like are the other guys aware of it or is it like a hush hush thing? But, yeah.
If they're aware of it and cool, they wouldn't care.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, like, and we don't really know much about Donnie or Paul because like they're literally cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
Only made to be beaten apparently in the story.
Beaten and frozen to death.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't think it's so much frozen as like he's basically bleeding internally from that gut punch. I think the shivering was more of like his body is like shutting down in certain parts. So
Yes.
But yeah, like so like there's definitely some kind of like there's some definitely negative energy coming off these characters. So like maybe like if the story was to be altered, like that's really what Miasma is about, is like not like taking people when they're in the wrong place, the wrong time. It's just like it's a manifestation of, or it shows up at places that have like a high negative energy about them, sort of thing.
Yeah, and think about it too. Lou's house. Lou is the one who brought up how everyone is being annoying and always fighting. Like he's the one that's most.
There's a fridge full of hard liquor in the garage.
Yeah.
Not just beer. It's like specifically hard liquor in the garage. Like, yeah, this is like not a great environment.
No, but also these characters are a lot deeper. At least Lou is a lot deeper than what the story actually shows.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly. Like, and there is like, and the fact that like, we're getting this like through hints and bits in the story is a testament to it.
But I'm also just assuming all of this. I might be saying this, and the author's like, "Whoa, pull it back."
It's like I did not intend this, but I am taking notes. Yeah, no, I'm not. Again, we don't know because until I guess like SerenaWrites listens to this, if they listen to this, but yeah, like I legit kind of want to know, like, was that intentional?
Yeah,
and if so, like I think there's definitely some material here for like extrapolating more on that in the story. God, yeah, wow. Usually this is Mikey's job. Gamer, you're stealing you took his job. You took his job.
I took his chair.
He's like, damn, that is a really good like you made the story better.
I did
it. With that, or you made that with that single idea or concept. I was like, whoa. This got way darker.
Thinking, because as soon as you think of that, it's like, oh wait, you have to rethink everything now. Oh, this is that because of that, and that means this is that because of that. Oh god.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just like, haha, oh, weird cosmic entity just shows up and like disappears certain people because they're in the wrong place or they weren't meant to be born or whatever. It's like, no. It's like this, like, no, this is the bottom of the iceberg. Gun with one bullet under his bed. It's like, whoa.
Pretty much. But yeah, I'll move on from there finally.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have is when it was mentioned that there was a light that they were seeing in the darkness and then it kind of went away. What I first assumed was that was the creature opening its mouth.
Yeah, it
like
could be.
They're inside some giant creature or some tiny creature like Kirby. But just like the opening to the outside opened briefly as it consumed something else.
Yeah, that could have been it. I also just thought it was the bullet hole in the.
No, this is before the bullet hole. There was a light.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
I thought the bullet hole. I thought the light in the darkness. Okay. All
because there was a light, and then later on it says there's a light, but this time it was red, and then that's when Miasma talked after the shot.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna have to. Not that I don't want to like I'm not like besmirching you or anything, but I think that I think the light was prior to the bullet, or I think the light was after the bullet.
I walked back over to the TV, tried to turn on again, no dice. Turn around, Lou and Donnie at the garage heard them groan. Looked to the door in the darkness, mortified. A faint light shone on the other end. Hello, I screamed. No response. Hello, I screamed again. Still no response. Vic, Paul asked. He was pouring buckets of sweat and half awake. Then he goes back in. So that's not gun.
Where's the gun? Yeah, I think the gun
should be easy to find. Boom.
You'd think so.
Where the fuck is Boom?
There was supposed to be a kaboom. A loud kaboom. No, there it is. I showed the gun to the guys. Boom. I opened the door as the other 4 guys crowded around me. I held the gun in both hands. It was a shiny revolver never used. I aimed and fired into the abyss. The muzzle fire flared and illuminated the darkness, and the
Yeah, I
bullet
see
was
it.
gone. Yeah. I think yes, and that was.
But there was no light there.
Yeah, there was no light there. He just fired into the darkness, and then when he looked out again after, like a little bit later, then he saw a light out there, and I was like, so the bullet finally hit something out there.
Oh, I guess.
That's why I said it could also be his mouth though. Like it could have also been because I think that's what the hole or the light changed to like a different color, and then suddenly it became a face, right? So I think it's sort of left ambiguous as to whether or not it was like from the gunshot or if it was just Miasma showing his face to them.
But either way, in the moment, the first thing I thought was like the shot happened and nothing really happened. Or no, there was a groan on the shot, right?
Yeah, there was.
That's why I thought it was a.
Yeah,
they were inside a mouth immediately because he just got shot in the inside of the gums, basically.
Exactly. Honestly, that's why I thought it was like. Well, that's why I thought it was like it was like the light at the next time we see the light, or the first time we see the light, I thought it was like, oh, it's a bullet hole and this creature's groaning and stuff because it just got shot in the cheek. Or like because it says well, that didn't work, and then they all started hearing a groaning and like a loud gravelly groan, and then Lou closes the door. So
I mean, it's possible they are still inside the mouth of some being, but it speaks to them through this like weird magical light thing. Who knows? I don't know how this creature works.
It's honestly, it's a cosmic. It's some kind of like outer being that we can't really comprehend. It's amorphic. It can change. So yeah.
Yep, that's about all I got for notes.
All right. Then I guess on to final thoughts. So I'm not gonna lie, I really did enjoy the story, like the setup of it and all that. And the ending is that bittersweet escape ending in a horror story that you can't help but get hit in the feels for. Like it's like yeah, the survivors survive, but then they realize that they've lost everybody along the way. So and for as short and quickly as this things progress and how smoothly it read, I could use some more meat on the bones, like to make me care a bit more about these victims, not just Victor. I also did really enjoy Miasma's nature. That said, given what Gamer just brought forth with like the gun and the single bullet, I think maybe some tweaks to Miasma's nature to like kind of reflect the sort of negative energy and toxicity of this friend group and why they were picked, maybe because of that, I think would be really cool and compelling. And again, like,
sorry to cut you off. It might not be like targeting the entire group. It might be specifically targeting Lou. Yeah,
and everybody else was just kind of like caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could also be, and it could have also been attracted to Ray and his aggression, because of how, because like again, like when you're an angry drunk, sometimes like it's like you're not a bad person. It's just you don't want to drink because, or like you shouldn't be drinking because it brings out like the dark shit out of you. So like Ray might be like a great guy when he's sober, but then when he starts drinking, that's when like the demons come out, effectively.
You have to let him keep drinking.
Yeah,
it's like someone that will remain unnamed just keeps eating pizza, even though his body can't process pizza, and he farts all over the place every time he has pizza.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but honestly, that's also who I envisioned Miasma sounding like, because he's constantly shouting.
Oh yeah, fair.
Because he doesn't have an indoor voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that all said, all in all, there's definitely some room for improvement. And like maybe even some retooling of some of the things in the story. If what we're suspecting is like an accident in the writing, like I feel like those might be some things you may want to like consider looking into, like, and like developing in the story. Because as it is, I'm still going to partially recommend it, but like I was teetering on the edge of like a full recommendation for this one, because like I did enjoy the story as presented. And now that gamers brought up this other aspect, this way darker aspect that I didn't read the first time around, I'm like, I don't want to give it a full recommendation because of that, because that's something that we found out.
Yeah.
And you found out and you brought it to our attention. So like, I feel like it maybe need to be a little bit more known if that was intended. So it could be developed a little bit more because of that. So I'm still going to give it a high partial recommendation. Mikey, D stands for evil.
All right. So let's see. I like the monster with the darkness that's all consuming. And it was interesting having the night sky turn to red stars, basically.
Yeah.
And the part that I'm knocking it down for is the caps in the grammar, because it became, like I said, hard to distinguish who was talking. Like, is it miasma or is it someone else? Because they all talk loudly. And I mean, there's an exclamation mark for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, you can have regular characters just yelling, but you have the exclamation marks. You don't need all caps. And then have the entity speak in all caps. Like,
Yeah, true. All caps is technically like an internet thing, isn't it?
Yeah, all caps is how you like shout on the internet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
or speak as a weird being from beyond time and space.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to go really crazy with his writing, with his with Miasma's dialogue, there should have been like, it should have just been like poor, like no, uppercase, lowercase, just like jumbled through.
Oh yeah.
Because then you get that. Then it would seem weird, and it'd be like, Rosenberg. Like he'd kind of be reading it in like a weird, like fluctuating way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how
it's way to do it.
Actually, almost as if it was like talking with like two voices, i.e., like a woman and a man's voice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good way to do it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would fix the issues. But the stupid argument again with the Ray and Paul at the beginning saying that you can't die of alcohol poisoning. And then Ray just trying to prove his point by downing many bottles of hard liquor.
Well, again, that was just proving, like, showing Ray, giving us a goddamn character, like some character like description in Ray through his actions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I'm still only giving this a partial.
Okay. All right. Then, Gamer, your final thoughts.
Yeah. For me, well, now that I've gotten to my final thoughts, I see where I lost power, because I've like barely done any of my final thoughts. So I'm gonna be doing most of this on the fly.
Okay.
So reading through it, it was kind of hard to understand who was talking at any given moment, because there's few references of who's talking, which is a shame, because those instances of just bringing up who's talking could also give you avenues to describe the characters more, because we know so little about them. I like that I found the darkness, the super darkness in here.
Yeah, the grim reality.
Yeah, the grim darkness in this all encompassing darkness. That was a cool revelation for me. But again, I don't even know if that's meant to be.
Yeah, I feel like we may need some confirmation from the author.
Like, actually, if you're supposed to read that through the lines or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I would. I'm not demanding it, obviously. Like, but I would really like the author to, if they listen to this and they hear this part, would you please let us know if that was intentional or not? Because we're really curious.
For sure. But yeah, as I said, the things escalated really quickly. The characters acted in a manner that I didn't feel was realistic in regards to their escalation of having to quote unquote deal with Ray. Where like
Yeah.
they immediately all jump him just because he threw one punch and then like he woke up, okay, go get the gun. Like he wasn't it's not like he was acting like he was a fucking monster. Like he was just an angry drunk. Like you locked him in the garage. Great, you guys are safe. Just chill.
But then we get that scene from Jurassic Park. It's gonna come through the glass. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, it's one thing if he came through the glass and still was swinging. Then sure, go run and fire the gun.
Which eventually he does come through the glass, or at least gets the door open somehow, and comes out swinging at Donnie.
Yes, in hindsight, it's good they had the gun ahead of time. Not that it did anything, but they shouldn't have known that they would have needed the gun.
Yeah, true.
Just like because, the escalation was weird. But because of those reasons, I'm still gonna give this a partial. I don't know if I'm gonna go partial low still, because like there are good aspects of this, and I like the setup of all this, where just like they're hanging out, everything's fine, and then you open the door, everything's not fine. What the fuck? But I feel like this story deserves to be longer, honestly, or at least have more reference to the time span that's happening. Because me reading this, it felt like all of this happened in about 30 minutes. Which, and now you understand why. I'm like, how is this escalating so fast?
Yeah, no, I get you. Like it. I even says like, wow, that escalated quickly. Like because like right off the hop, we're just getting like the darkness showing up.
Yeah.
But, I feel like there definitely could be used like some extra like scenes of to show the passage of time a little bit more than just like an hour went by and we were losing our shit kind of thing.
Yeah. But for the concept alone, I'll still give it a partial, because I did like the read. It's just there's a lot of aspects of it that bothered me, namely one part being creepier than the other part, escalation, time, stuff I've already said. I don't need to beat that dead horse again. So I'll still give a partial. It needs work, but we can't all be who was fun.
No one else. No one. That was like striking lightning, or that was like lightning striking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess basically partial recommendations across the board.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. So that'll do it for this week's episode. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted. We're all on Twitter. Mikey's at the E stands for evil. The Gamer in Yellow is at the Gamer in Yellow, but without that W at the end, because his name is too damn long.
It is, but I don't have a choice.
And I'm at Review Cultist. I'm also on Blue Sky at Review Cultist. You can also send us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTS@gmail.com. Where you can also send us other creepypastas, SCPs, spooky things. You creep it, we'll peep it. Yeah! And if you'd like to help support our show financially, you can go to Patreon. We have $2 and $5 tiers with special episodes, early access, and extra content. To all our patrons that are helping support the show, thank you immensely. Helping keep those hosting bills at bay. And as always, we very much appreciate that. And to our listeners and the authors of these stories, thank you immensely, because without your listenership, it'd be like screaming into the all-consuming void and darkness of miasma. My asthma.
Your asthma, anyone's asthma.
And if you didn't write these stories and post them on various wikis or online and send us an email about them asking us to critique it and such, we really wouldn't have much of a show because we'd have nothing to talk about. So thank you. Until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
And I'm the Gamer in Yellow.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.